Hey guys, welcome to today's review. Today, reviewing The Mummy, number 100, episode 101. Let's go straight into it because there's 6 pages. I finally went back to the in-depth reviews. So give it The Mummy. It came out in 1909. It's a fancy action film. It's 2 hours and 5 minutes. We see the Egyptians building their living environment, and Imhotep basically gets him and his girlfriend, Amaskazun, or whatever her name is, to kill her dad, basically. And but Imhotep, when the girlfriend kills herself, so she could be resurrected. But when Imhotep's doing that, and the followers are both caught, when the followers and Imhotep are caught when they try and resurrect her. I thought I heard something. Basically, how the followers were mummified, and you know how mummifieds happen. Basically, they pull your brain through your nose, apparently, and they fish out all your organs, and then they put you into wrapping and put you in there, basically. But Imhotep got a worse one. Imhotep lost his tongue, wrapped in bandage, and eaten by some of those skin beetles. Then we get the title card. We see a war, and Rick and Benny are a part of it. Rick is then captured and sentenced to death in Cairo, but Eve and John save him, and they get on the ship with Rick. We see all the crew. They consist of, obviously, we got Eve, Rick, and John. But some other new players are Warden Gadd, Dr. Terrence, Dr. Alan Charm, Mr. Henderson, and Mr. Burns. Mr. Burns is going to be a very key point in this. He's not evil or anything, and Benny's also there being a fucking prick like usual. Then they start digging the coffee and they find the book. They open it, but then they basically, this guy, the Warden Gadd, pulls these bugs off, and they go into his skin, eat all his important organs. It's disgusting. And then the Mumbai attack the explorers to stop them from releasing Imhotep, but a shootout happens, and they were like, "If you don't leave tomorrow, you'll die." Then we see scratching on the inside of Imhotep's form, and then Eve finds a secret passageway, and guess what it leads to? Mr. Burns, because Mr. Burns went missing. But the coolest twist, to turn him around, Imhotep has taken his eyes and his tongue, and Benny becomes his servant. Then the mummy returns to finish off his job by killing Mr. Burns and sucking his skin dry. Then fire starts to fly down, and River becomes the Mumbai leader joins them to stop this. The eclipse happens, but sadly the priest joins them. The guy that actually was able to read the Egyptian inscriptions, was eaten by Imhotep down an alleyway, and that's how Benny escaped the interrogation by Rick, and he boots him in the penis and then pegs it on. But Mr. Henderson then is eaten, left alone, and is attacked by Sand Imhotep, and he's eaten off camera, and he's sucked dry. Then Imhotep looks human even more than he did, which I think was really cool. And then we hear mob after gang chanting Imhotep. Boils and sores is the last plague, to show the end of the world. Keep your hands up and sorry about that. Sadly, they get on the car and get out of there, and they find out where their book is. And the last guy that opened up that case, which is why Imhotep needed these jar things, pushed him off a car, and the guy basically ate him when he saw that. And then we lose another guy when the guy tries to stand up for the rest of them and is killed by the angry mob. And then they fly over sand, but Imhotep takes control of sand and turns it into a massive mouth that eats the plane. But they all survive, but the captain dies. They bind the ritual and stop it, because also he takes Eve at this point. Also, Imhotep resurrects the followers that were wrapped up in the mummy bandages. Thank God they didn't just forget about them. Then Rick kills all the mummy, and then one grabs him and another tries to throw a tombstone on him. And then we got more armoured mummies with like shields and that. Rick then runs from them, and they can wall climb, which we thought was really cool. John can take control of them, and they basically, the girlfriend gets killed by Imhotep's main mummies, because basically he takes control of them, and she attacks Eve, and he sends them to kill her. Then Imhotep, and then they open the book, and it sucks his immortality. Chariot grabs his immortality and brings it away, so like the mummy. But then they get into a fight, and Rick stabs him in the gut, ending this. He falls then into this lake, and he disappears into the mummy again. Imhotep is now done for now. He's come back in the second one, spoilers. Benny is then left, is trying to steal the gold and gets left behind because he didn't make it. And he gets eaten off screen because by those beetle things. He goes, all you hear is ah! He gets like sort of eaten. Then they ride home, and now we know Rick and Eve start dating. 10 out of 10. Amazing film. Amazing structure. Amazing film. Entertaining the whole way through. I never skipped a single part. Hope you guys did enjoy the review. If you did, please do smash that button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.